Oh, hello there. Hi. How you doing? I am the person that likes to teach people makeup as if they are toddlers. I think a lot of makeup tutorials you see online are very fast-paced. I don't think they explain every little detail, which that's how I learn. I need to be told every minuscule detail. Even if it doesn't seem important, it is to me. In my opinion, makeup is very easy. I just think with what we see on social media, it looks a lot harder than it is. That being said, I thought I would teach you guys how to do a quick base tutorial that covers up your acne and redness. Let's go, bitch. As you can see, this is my skin. This is like 5 acne spots in one, which is a world record, I think. The technique that I'm going to show you, it doesn't matter if you have less acne or more acne than me. First step you are going to do is called prepping and priming your skin. And if you're like, what the fuck does that mean? Think about it like painting a house. You have to prep the walls first. You have to make sure that the wall is clean, and then you do one layer of primer. That primer is going to make the paint that you put on next last longer. It's going to make it look better. That's basically what you're doing with your skin. I hope that makes sense. If not, you can yell at me in the comments. Washing your face is going to be the prepping of your skin. Your moisturizer and your sunscreen work great as a primer. That being said, I know there are a lot of people on the internet that highly disagree with me. So what you can do is go on the internet and just Google primer and find one that you like. If you have super duper dry skin, I want you to look for a hydrating primer. Then if your skin is very oily and greasy, like you touch your skin and you have like a residue on your fingers, you might want to look for something called a mattifying primer. And then there are some people who have combination skin. That just means that you have dry and oily skin at the same time. I recommend buying one hydrating primer and one mattifying primer, and then just put the hydrating primer wherever you get dry, and then put the mattifying primer wherever you get oily. If you have really big pores, you might want something called a smoothing primer. These are going to fill in your pores and kind of smooth out any dents on your skin, if that makes sense. I recommend just using your moisturizer for now, and then over time, if you decide that you want a primer, then get a primer. I'm going to take my moisturizer. I take about that much, and I'm just pressing it into my skin. What you are going to need next is a foundation and a concealer. I will put up on the screen some recommendations for dry, oily, and combo skin if you don't already have these products. What the fuck is the difference between foundation and concealer? Foundation is something that goes all over your face. Even though foundation goes all over your face, you might still have some under eye bags showing through, you might have your acne showing through, just anything else that you want to further cover up, you're gonna go in with a concealer. Concealers normally have more coverage in them. You can either apply your foundation with a brush, a sponge, or your fingertips. If you want to apply it with your hands, I like to apply it in a circular motion. Once I covered up a lot of my cheek, I'm gonna start tapping it in, because you can see like there's a very harsh line. You don't want that. Tap out the edges so that it looks a lot softer and blends in with my skin. And you always want to make sure that you go down your neck. The downside to using your fingers is that it just might feel a little bit gross. So if you want to, you can take a brush, go on Google and just type in kabuki brush. They're very flat and pretty dense, which I think applies foundation the best, and you're less likely to get streaks in your makeup. Dip into your foundation and you're going to press that into the brush. What I like to do is pull down. Everyone has peach fuzz on their face. And if I were to take my brush and go upwards, I'm going to brush all of that hair up, and it's going to be a lot more noticeable. So if you go downwards, you're going to smooth your skin out even more. The last way that you can apply your foundation, like I said, is with a sponge. You need to wet this underwater and wring out the excess, and then you can pick up that product, and all you're going to do is tap it in. And if you have any harsh lines or edges, just keep tapping it out. In my opinion, a sponge is the most beginner-friendly option. This one is by Real Techniques. It's like $4. I think you can even find these at like Marshall's or TJ Maxx, like any discount store, for even cheaper. So have fun with that. All that redness I had in the beginning is pretty much gone. That being said, I definitely still have some darkness underneath my eyes and some acne spots that I want to further cover up. That is when you want to take your concealer. Now I want you to get a concealer that is your skin tone. I think it's very common nowadays for people to do highlighting. You see people take a lighter concealer than their skin tone to brighten up their skin. If I were to take a concealer that is very pale, all that's going to do is make my acne even more noticeable. It's going to create a shadow on my skin. I want you to go in with a product that is your skin tone. Do not apply your concealer directly onto your acne because your acne has bacteria on it. That bacteria that's on your skin is going to go directly back into that tube, and it could cause you to break out even more, which I think is a big no-no. I don't like that. What you're gonna do is just put some on the back of your hand. I don't recommend using a sponge, only because a sponge soaks up your product. It might not cover up your acne as much because it's going to absorb that product on the back of your hand. What I think is a better option to get more coverage is just to go straight in with your finger or a small fluffy brush, or you can look for what's called a concealer brush. Dip into the product and then tap some off. You don't want too much on your finger. Wherever you have an acne spot, you're gonna tap this right on top. I just have a harsh circle on my face right now. Like there is a very harsh line where I put that concealer. What you're gonna do is take a clean finger and you're gonna start tapping around the edges. Depending on how red your acne is, you might have to go in with a second layer to really cover it up. But if you are going to use a brush, you're going to dip into the product and then tap some off, and then wherever you have your acne, tap it on. You're going to wipe your brush off so that there's barely any product on there, and then right around the edges, you're going to pull outwards to blend it out. Literally just putting my brush down and flicking it out. That way it blends into the skin. And then just repeat the process wherever else you have acne or scarring or anything that you want to further cover up. Because I don't have any acne on my under eyes, I am just going to put the dofa applicator directly onto my skin. I'm going to take my finger and tap it outwards until there are no harsh lines or edges. Or you can take your brush and kind of flick it back. There is no right or wrong way. Just do whatever is easier for you. Last but not least, but it is least because it is last, you're gonna go in with your powder. I use the Maybelline Fit Me. Just type in fluffy powder brush. Press the powder in, and then you're gonna tap out the extra. I like to press it into my hand first, press it on to my skin. The powder is going to help make your makeup stay longer. I do a very thin light layer because I have dry skin, but if your skin is a bit more oily, just add a bit more powder. It's fine. Then if you tap your skin and it feels kind of powdery, then you know that you applied enough. But if your skin still feels like a little bit sticky, you might want to add a little bit more. Makeup is not like a filter in real life. Your skin is still going to look like skin. You still might have a shadow of your acne, but at least the discoloration is covered up. After people do foundation and concealer, they normally go in with like blush, contour, highlighter, eyeshadow, eyebrows, the rest of their makeup, except it is 4 o'clock in the morning and I have not slept. So I'm not gonna do that today. That being said, I hope this helped. If you're like, Brianna, your room is a fucking mess. First of all, change your attitude. Thank you. Second of all, I'm aware. I'm in the middle of cleaning, got distracted, and I wanted to film a video. Okay, leave me alone. But yeah, I hope that this video helped you. If it didn't, you can punch me in the face. A lot of you guys wanted longer content on my YouTube. The only problem with that is my camera is very sensitive. He likes to overheat and become really dramatic after like 10 fucking minutes. I'm used to making like 3-minute videos, like cutting out a lot of my extra talking because I feel like people don't like that. Hey, I mean, honestly, it is probably the biggest compliment to be put on as like background noise. I'm gonna go eat a chocolate muffin that has zucchini in it, because I'm trying to be healthy. Goodbye!